The first thing I see every morning is the sunrise over my land. My land. 3 acres of rolling green tucked at the edge of Willow Creek Estates, where the manicured suburb ends and nature begins. I bought it 6 years ago, worked 2 jobs and skipped vacations to make it mine. It's peaceful out here. Birds wake me before the alarm does. The old oak tree in the back casts just enough shade for my daughter to play beneath when the sun gets cruel. This is home. My name's Marcus Reed. I'm a 38-year-old single father, a high school history teacher and, up until recently, the only black homeowner in this entire gated community. I knew what I was signing up for when I bought in. The looks, the passive-aggressive nods, the long stares at neighborhood events. But I told myself it was worth it for the school district. For my daughter Zuri. She's 8, full of fire and questions, and has no idea yet how the world measures her skin. I built our small farmhouse at the back edge of the community. Technically, my land begins just outside the HOA's boundary. My property line is clearly marked, surveyed, fenced, and recorded with the county. Still, every few months I catch a jogger or a dog walker accidentally on my land. I wave it off. Pick your battles. But last week I noticed something strange. Tire tracks. Deep ones. Fresh. Cutting across my southern edge, right where my backyard slopes down into the clearing I cleared last spring. It used to be woods, but I removed the brush, leveled the soil. I was going to build a greenhouse. Zuri and I already sketched it out. Tomatoes, peppers, lavender for her mama's old soap recipe. That's when I saw the flags. Little orange plastic survey flags stabbing the earth like a warning. Lines were marked with spray paint. White chalk curved into unfamiliar shapes. I crouched down, my gut tightening. Who the hell had been on my land? I called the HOA office. Just to check. Asked if maybe there was utility work or someone made a mistake. The woman on the phone, Linda or Brenda, something with a Karen flavor, gave me a long pause before responding. Oh, that area? That's part of the planned community development zone. It's not technically yours, Mr. Reed. My heart thudded. That's not what the county record says, I told her. Well, she chirped, you may want to speak with Mrs. Halbridge. She's the HOA president. She filed the proposal for the clubhouse expansion last month. Clubhouse. That night I stood at my window staring out over the field. My field. A field now marked up like a battlefield. And in the distance, under the moonlight, I saw her, gray bobbed hair, clipboard in hand, walking my land like it belonged to her. Mrs. Halbridge. Karen incarnate. And I knew deep down that whatever was coming, it wasn't going to be small. By the time I saw her again, the damage had already started. Zuri had been asking about the pool for weeks. The other kids at school would mention it. They talked about how the HOA was building a new exclusive pool complex for the community, with a clubhouse and a bar. There was a certain gleam in their eyes as they spoke of it, as if it were a secret club they were all a part of. Zuri didn't care about any of that. He just wanted to swim. But my phone kept ringing with no messages. That's when I knew something was wrong. The HOA held their annual meeting every year at the country club, a pristine white building at the heart of the development. I'd never attended before. Figured it was just another excuse for the wealthy residents to show off their tailored khakis and private golf memberships. But I felt a pull to go this time. I needed answers and I couldn't just keep waiting for someone to call me back. When I walked into the meeting, it felt off immediately. Everyone's eyes landed on me like I had walked in wearing a neon sign that said, "Intruder." They smiled, but it didn't feel like a welcome. More like a test. And there she was. Mrs. Halbridge. She sat at the front, shoulders back, her platinum blonde hair as stiff as the way she carried herself. She was in her late 50s, but her smile, perfectly white and unervingly sharp, gave her the aura of someone who'd spent her life getting exactly what she wanted. And she wanted this neighborhood. She wanted it all. "Mr. Reed, so good to see you," she cooed when I made eye contact with her. "I wasn't sure you'd attend. It's quite the event, isn't it?" I nodded, trying to keep my composure. The room was quiet, all eyes on me. Then I noticed it, subtle but there. The way a few of the residents, particularly the older couples, looked me up and down, whispering behind hands. The quiet tension that hung in the air. This wasn't just about a pool anymore. One of them, a tall man in a sharp suit, stood up. He cleared his throat. "We've been trying to reach you, Mr. Reed. The development expansion has reached the final stages. You've received our notices, haven't you? About the new clubhouse. I felt a cold prickle at the back of my neck. I hadn't seen any notices. No, I haven't, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. I don't recall receiving anything. Mrs. Halbridge's smile twitched like a predator sensing a weakness. Oh, I'm sure they were mailed out, but I'll have someone check again. Now, as you know, this area, she gestured vaguely with a flourish, is part of the common space for the community. We need to ensure it's available to everyone. All members. The children need a proper pool. And we've all agreed this is the best way forward. The common space. I bit my tongue, trying not to let my frustration show. The more she spoke, the more my blood boiled. We need to ensure it's available to everyone. Everyone didn't include me. I knew it. It wasn't just the land. It wasn't just the clubhouse. It was me. I felt it in the way they spoke to me, like my voice didn't matter. Like my concerns didn't hold weight. Mrs. Halbridge's eyes, though wide and innocent, were calculating. I knew I wasn't just dealing with an ignorant woman. She was trying to erase me, trying to make me invisible in my own home. Sure, I said, barely keeping the edge out of my voice. I'll take a look at those notices. But I'll also need you to provide me with some documentation about the land usage and the boundaries. Her eyes narrowed just a fraction. Of course, Mr. Reed. You'll have everything you need. But the smile never left her face. I left the meeting with the heavy feeling that something bigger was already in motion. A fight I didn't know I was already in.